Okay. Hey guys, this is Dana with Dana J Photography, and I'm here with Rachael Schwarze from KD Floral in Bemidji. Hey Rachel.
Hey, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Good. We're here doing a Skype interview with her, and she's gonna just help us get some insight for you brides out there. The process with working with a florist, and why having just really pretty, gorgeous, real flowers at your wedding is so important. And I'm excited. I'm excited to get to know a little more about you and talk about that. So let's get started. Okay, so first things first, let's get to know you a little bit, Rachel. I have 3 questions for you that'll just help us get to know the really important parts of your life.
Okay.
So, okay.
I'm ready.
Are you ready for this?
I think so.
All right. Okay, what song do you love to dance to?
I am not much of a dancer. However, when I cook, I like to kind of boogie in our kitchen. And we are huge Bob Marley fans. I love the song Three Little Birds, and it's not very fast-paced, but it's just one of those that puts you in a great mood. I'd say that's probably my favorite. We play that on a pretty regular basis at our house.
Awesome. I like that answer. Okay, how about, what was your most embarrassing hairstyle, like, ever?
Oh, a lot of them. When I was growing up, I didn't realize that, like, I should just leave my hair curly, and so I would brush it out all the time, and it would get huge. And then if that wasn't good enough, I had a perm, but only in my bangs. So I'd have this, like, massive amount of wavy hair, and then my bangs were these little tiny ringlets. It was terrible.
Oh, my goodness. How old were you?
That was, like, 4th grade.
Oh, man.
And then I sort of started to figure it out.
It's like, why did our parents let us leave the house like that? I don't know.
Like, it's in my 4th grade pictures. You really would have thought my mom should have said, this is not a good decision for your life.
Oh, man. Okay, and then the last one. If you could meet one person in history, who would it be?
There's so many good ones. I think the thing that pops first to mind is I would, as would anybody, love to meet Gandhi. I think he just had such an impact on people. Probably more personally, I think it would be awesome to be able to meet the first person in our family lineage that came over from Europe, and just to be able to see what made you make that decision, and that's so brave.
Yeah.
I think that would just be awesome to be able to have that conversation.
That would be cool. That's a great one. I like that. Okay, so let's get to weddings.
Awesome.
So how long have you been doing weddings as a florist, and what got you interested in arranging flowers and floral design?
Sure. I've been in the industry for 10 years. I really started doing weddings almost immediately when I started working here, just the basic training. From there, I did training in Minneapolis, in Milwaukee, in Alexandria, and I just was so interested in it. It's so wonderful to be able to come somewhere every day that's really beautiful, especially when it's disgusting outside.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful inside. And I find myself, even in my spare time, those are the things I'm interested in looking at. I like looking at bridal bouquets and seeing weddings, and being inspired by all the options out there. And I realized actually during school when I was in Iceland that everything I cared about there was I wanted to go to the flower shops, and I wanted to see the floral area and the nature there, and it just hit me one day that that's what I wanted to, that I loved it, and that was what was making me really happy.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, that's so exciting when you can finally, like, just be like, okay, this is what I want to do, and I love it.
When it's so clear.
Yeah. So, we all love a good story. How can you tell us about your first experience with one of your first weddings, like, that you can remember?
Sure. My most memorable first wedding was after I had bought the store. I had a bride that came in and basically threw it in our hands and said, you could do whatever you want, which was really exciting and really scary at the same time. And the day of her wedding, we delivered. I came back, phone rang, and one of my employees said, it's your bride, and she's crying. And I was just horrified and scared that maybe what I thought she wanted wasn't what she wanted. And I got on the phone, and she was in tears about how beautiful her bouquet was. And that was so memorable to me, that flowers can make such a difference in people's lives, and they can totally change your mood depending on how they are. And for that really stuck with me, that flowers are really important for your wedding.
Yeah. Well, it's good that it was a good cry, not a bad cry.
I know, I was so worried. She was so sweet. That's part of being in this industry, is you want to make people happy.
Yeah.
And flowers can do that. It's amazing.
That's awesome. And it's so fun that, like, we can be a part of such a special day for people.
Yes.
You know, I know, I love that.
It's such an intricate part of one of the most memorable days of their life. Is really, really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. So can you describe your signature style for us?
Yeah, we generally are kind of a elegant organic. We like to have bouquets that have movement and interesting elements to them, and yet still be classy and put together, and obviously professional done. We do a lot of rustic bouquets, and we also do a lot of bouquets that have bling on them or are really, really elegant. We can kind of do a little bit of everything, but our favorite is definitely something with a little bit of uniqueness to it.
Okay, cool. I like that, organic. I like that. What is, like, for a bride who, you know, is maybe a little nervous about going through the process with a florist, or, you know, usually a wedding is a first-time experience for a couple. Can you just walk us through the process from beginning to end with you?
Yeah. Generally 8 to 12 months out is when you want to start contacting a florist, just to make sure that that date is going to be available for them to be able to work with you. From there, you're going to want to set up your first consultation, and those generally take about an hour. We'll sit down with brides and go over their color scheme, the theme for their wedding, if it's rustic, if it's elegant, if it's crazy wild with pinwheels. You know, we'll get all of those informational bits and then put it together with flowers that reflect who that person is. From there, we generally like to do a consult 1 month prior to the wedding and nail down the nitty-gritty details. And then when it comes to the day, you don't have anything to worry about. We come and we set up, and when you arrive, it looks beautiful and hopefully everything that you had hoped you were going to get for your wedding.
Okay. Well, that doesn't seem so scary.
No, it's really easy. Really like walk people through it, because we realize that it's, for most people, their first wedding. And for us, we've been doing weddings for 10 years, so we kind of know the drill. We want to be as helpful as we can.
It's really nice to know that, you know, especially when you don't try to do the flowers yourself. It's like when you hire someone like you who is an expert at what they're doing, you know, it's just, I think for myself, it's so nice, you know, to feel taken care of.
Right. And we feel that way, you know, with photographers and other people who are in the wedding industry. Each person is an expert, so they know what they need to do, and they can help a couple walk through that process together and make it as easy as possible.
Yeah, that's great. So, like when a client or a couple, you know, comes to meet with you for the first time, what should they know before meeting with you? What should they have kind of in the back of their mind?
For your first consult, you definitely want to have your wedding colors picked out. There are hundreds of thousands of types of flowers, and so that helps get us in the right direction. And then also to have an idea of what kind of style wedding you want to have. We also ask that brides will bring with them a list of people they want for flowers. So if grandpa and grandma are going to wear flowers or not. And we also recommend bringing one other person with you, just somebody that can help you stay on track and keep the overall theme of your wedding going, because I know it can be overwhelming. Mm-hmm. And not to bring a whole lot more people than that. You don't need a ton of ideas. You just want to have one person that can really help you decide on everything.
Okay. So on a scale from 1 to 10, how important would you say having real flowers is compared to artificial flowers?
It's way, way up there in tens. It makes such a difference. You can tell when you walk into a reception room and there's fresh flowers, it's this overwhelming feeling of celebration and beauty. And then when you walk into a room that has artificial flowers, it may still look beautiful, but it doesn't evoke those same emotions.
Yeah.
And same with when you're holding your bouquet and you realize that you're about to get married, you should be looking at something that's beautiful and makes you so happy. Yeah. And there's studies that have been done that fresh flowers actually elevate your mood. And on the day of your wedding, who doesn't want an extra mood elevator? That's just a wonderful bonus. I know the flowers are only around for a few days. They're perishable. We understand that. But you have, as cheesy as it sounds, those memories forever. And you have photos forever that you're going to look at and you want to be happy with what you see. Yeah.
And I know as a photographer, like I can definitely tell in pictures when the flowers are real or not. So I would say like also way up there in the tens for real. Yeah.
We love fresh flowers. It does. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah. So what advice can you give brides when they're choosing their arrangements and their bouquets?
Sure. So when you come to see us, we also like if you can bring a variety of pictures, or if you've started a Pinterest board, that helps us look at your overall vision for what you want your day to be, and then we can help suggest flowers. We do have brides that come to us and say, I want 12 red roses, or I want 6 Gerber daisies, and that's okay too. But if you're willing to be flexible and let your florist give you some ideas and offer up things that you maybe have never thought of putting in your bouquet, like herbs or vines or succulent plants, we can help you create something that's a reflection of who you are and not just a copied picture from a magazine.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so on that level, what ideas do you have for brides that could make their bouquet a little more unique than just your standard, like everybody else's?
Right, to reflect who they are.
Yeah.
We've done from the simplest. Brides have brought us like their great-grandmother's brooch that we've attached to a bouquet, or brooches in bouquets is really popular. We've also been doing things with, like I mentioned, the succulent plant, and I have one here on my desk. Oh, there it is. Can you see? It's so pretty. And it's a plant.
That's
and
so
you can
cool.
Put this in your bouquet. Yeah, and then you have something to plant after your wedding, something to keep, which is a really neat keepsake.
Wow, I never would have thought of that. You can plant it and then have it. So especially for brides who are like, I want to keep my flowers, you can still have real flowers and like plant that actually and let it grow.
Right, exactly. And we have cool things. These are called air plants. This is a huge one. This is a less huge one. These are living plants, and we can tuck them in your bouquet, and it's beautiful. It's just an added interest item that you can keep after your bouquet has passed away, we'll call it. It's not around anymore. You have something in your house that's a memory of your bouquet.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
We love adding those personal elements because it just makes each bouquet interesting. We rarely ever do the same bouquet more than once.
Cool. Wow, that's really good to know. Well, I'm so excited to see what you come up with, Rachael, this season. And thank you so much for interviewing with us and just taking the time to just kind of like put brides at ease and give us some insight on the process. If someone wants to get a hold of you for their wedding, do you have a website or a Pinterest or Facebook?
Yes.
Okay.
All of the above. Our website is kdfloralandgardens.com. And from there, we have tons of pictures in our gallery of bouquets. But our most updated is if you go to Facebook. And you can find us on Facebook at KD Floral. Tons of pictures end up on there. And we do have Pinterest as well. And it's KD, the letter K, and then the letter D. Floral. Okay. Awesome. Thank you for having me. It was such a great conversation to have about weddings.
Yeah, well, it was so good to get to know you a little bit. And I am looking forward, like I said, to see what you do this summer. And I hope we can work together sometime.
That sounds awesome. We love collaboration.
So. Awesome. Well, thanks so much. Have a great day.
Yeah, bye, Dana. Have a great day.
You too. See ya.